Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today and welcome back to another video. Today we will be painting a night sky. It is actually a scene, a quick scene from a movie that every time I see it come on, I think how pretty it is. So I decided to see if I could recreate it in a painting. I'm wondering if anyone could guess what movie this is from. Maybe I will drop a hint a little later, but I thought it would be fun to see if anyone could guess it. So I'm starting off with my Payne's Blue-Gray and just trying to do a nice dark wash over the background, and I am blocking out some moons. It would have been very helpful if I had my masking fluid to help block those out, but I didn't, so I will have to attempt to fix those up a little bit later. So here I'm just taking a dry paper towel, and while the paint is still wet, I'm just dabbing it on there and trying to remove some of the color. I was trying to give the effect of some clouds, and rather than trying to paint around clouds, this was a easier way to get a more subtle and blended effect. As I let this first layer dry, I was looking at it and thought that maybe I should just start over. I wasn't a big fan of how blocky my moons were looking and all of the brush lines on the page, but I decided to give it another coat and see how it went and just keep going with it. And I'm glad I did, because in the end I like how it came out, but I was ready to call it quits on this one and start again when I first started. So yeah, when you're working on something and maybe in the beginning it doesn't seem quite like you would like it to be and you're unsure of what the final result will be, just keep going, because in the end it might just be something beautiful. This time around, trying to dab out some of these clouds with the paper towel. Some of the paint had already dried on the page, so I actually used a little bit of water on the paper towel to try to re-wet it and pull some of that paint back. Now I'm going to give some detail to my moons. I'm just taking some water and spreading it throughout the moon, and then I will take a little bit of color. I'm using Moon Glow, and I am just dabbing it in random places, trying to create some shadows and lights and just keeping it very random and natural looking. I'm now coming in with a white Posca pen, and I'm going to try and fix my moons and make them more round looking, and just by going around the edges and cleaning that up a little bit. I did find that the dark blue paint color kept getting on the tip of my pen, so it was not leaving it nice and white how I would have wanted it to. So I did decide to venture downstairs through the boxes to find my white gouache paint and paint over it with that because I thought it would be a little bit cleaner looking, but I was not able to find my gouache, so I found some acrylic paint. It was just some Artist Loft acrylic paint. I think honestly it probably belongs to my daughter, but it was all I had, so I grabbed that. And I found some brushes too that were for acrylic because I would not use my watercolor brushes with acrylic paint, and that was what I ended up using to help smooth out the edges of these moons here. And now I'm just adding in a few stars to the sky. Once that dried, I started my tree line. I mixed my Payne's Blue Gray with my Undersea Green and tried to get a nice dark color to contrast against the lighter part of the sky in the background. I did mix a little bit more blue at times, and then at sometimes I mixed a little bit more green just to kind of give it a, I don't want to say variety of color because it's just two colors, but to have two different colors that you could kind of see variation in the trees. Making these leaves required a lot of me dabbing my brush onto the paper a whole lot of times, so I did try to speed through this a little bit quickly for you. So I am curious if anyone has been able to guess what movie this was inspired by, or maybe even what planet we are looking out at this night sky from. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to finish this up by adding a few more stars to the sky. Do tell me what you think. I kind of like how this came out. I know it had a rough start and I was a little uncertain, but in the end, I really like it. So I'm glad I kept going. I will say that this scene was inspired by the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. So if you couldn't guess, that is what this is from. I love those movies, and every time this scene comes on, I know it's super fast, but I love it. I love looking at the moons in the sky, and I think they're so pretty, and there's just something about the moon that's so pretty to begin with. So when there's more of them, I'm just fascinated. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you were maybe painting along with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!